Alright, welcome back. Sorry about the abrupt ending on that last episode. I forgot where the pause recording button was and just hit stop recording instead. So we're back with GRIME. Picking shit up. Grabbing things. Doing stuff. Crushing fools. Let's talk to this gentleman. The malformed says, we are wrong. A mistake. My body, it shouldn't look like this. I can feel it. I know it. My thoughts, my words, they come from a dead thing. A cursed breath, life forced into unwilling dirt. Talk to him again. He says ellipsis. This is how I'm meant to be. Give it back, or I'll break it off you. So that was a wretch. But it touched on one of the main themes of the game. Which this is a world where a bunch of rock people are being brought to life. But that sucks. Maybe rock is better off not being alive. If you can imagine suddenly gaining life while being encased within other unliving stone. That's one such nightmare scenario. But that'll all come in time. Talk to Jan. Psst. Over here, shimmering one. This wall can't be broken from your side. You can get here through a path from above. Alright, so let's spend our hunt points. So the boulder head will give us, reduces 25% of incoming damage after failing to absorb an attack. That's not really useful to us, we're going to absorb the attacks. Frail arm, we want that one. So 25% plus whatever 30% of 25% is. Stamina regen, or stamina restored when we absorb. Crawler can now press left stick to walk slowly, which is useful in like a couple of places in the game to get to hidden areas. We're not going to mess with that. They don't really need anything that way. And we can always get it later because there's you can refund things really easily in this game. So you can play around with your build quite a bit. Nothing is set in stone. So the Ancient Limb, this would give me repelling an attack damages the attacker. 100% benefit from... I don't know what benefit from resonance is. Or I think resonance might affect some weapons, but it also affects like the amount of damage that your absorb does when you have this trait. Something to think about. And then the Frantic gently pulls on nearby vulnerable surfaces, revealing hidden paths, which is super good when we're hunting for secrets, which we will do later. But we don't need it right now. For now, let's give ourselves a little bit more stamina and a little more health. Yeah, that looks good. Got a little more of the tutorial to go. Getting all these nails, which are like throwing knives. I've never used them. I don't really see what they could be useful for. Absorb everything. What's on this? Oh, another upgrade thing. We can't use these for a little bit, which is kind of a bummer. Yeah, we just got a Motley Pearl, which is the thing that you use to refund a hunt point. Or if you use five of them, you do a full respec of your regular stats. Yeah, there's not like a zillion of these in the game, but they are not uncommon. Gotta keep your head on a swivel. Another Motley Pearl, see? Oh, we're already by gloriously anatomical one. Ooh, I'm so disgusted by my disgusting brethren. How dare they attack one such as you? It's not your fault they are misshapen and disgusting. Let's dump this pitiful place together. But first, you'll need to get past the biggest ugly of them all. Break through its ugly face. So that opens up our shortcut back to the surrogates. Spend hunt points on. Let's save the level up. What we actually want to do is go back up and not go to the boss quite yet. Well, we don't have long to wait before we find the weapon that I want to use for the playthrough. It might be a little while before I have the stats to use it. I couldn't even see you. In retrospect, I shouldn't have rested. There we go. That's what I wanted. The bellow mace. Oh yeah, let's read so the Twin Fangs weapon description is fangs taken from elsewhere, chiseled and sharpened by a careful artisan. And the bellow mace says, put together by an amateur with a strong aversion to mouths. So here we go. We got a kind of an overhead slam. It's kind of a combo. It's slow. It's quite slow. And it uses a lot of stamina. And then the special is a bigger hit with a longer range. Let's try it out. So the special kills those things outright. 2 hits with the regular attack. But we use our absorb very well, so that should kind of shore up the weaknesses of this kind of weapon. Let's go back. Is there anything I can do in here? I guess not. You can hear the boss kind of sobbing in the background. Check out all these milky eyes. It's so fucking good. Just eyes sticking out of stalactites. I guess I'll put another point into stamina, just because I super need it with this weapon. This one says weep for the being. This one says weep for the form. Well, this guy seems pretty alright. He doesn't look too misshapen. Oh, he's... Ah, fuck. It's the amalgam. Good. There we go. Okay, now he's going Super Saiyan. It's still not very tough, since you can absorb his arms like that. Heal. There we go. That went pretty well. So I absorbed that boss. It unlocked the Ardor system. So Ardor increases the amount of mass gained from defeated foes up to 100%. It's gained by crushing or absorbing prey, and it's lost upon taking damage. A stirring appetite, a taste for more. So when you die, that's what you lose. You lose your current Ardor. So you just go back to earning the regular amount of mass from killing enemies, and you can still go in and pick up the Ardor that you lost You get 50% of it back when you break your corpse. And you also get a heal when you break your corpse. So it's kind of nice to have it in a boss fight. It's like having a free heal around. Jan says, "Oh, chiseled one, look what I found for you in the meantime. More followers to serve and bask in your perfection. This one is Boulderhead. It doesn't say much, but if I tell it to do something, it usually does it. And this is the other Boulderhead. It doesn't say much either, but look how well I painted its misshapen face. I call them Boulderheads because their heads look kind of like boulders. I don't think they get it though, hee. You must be heading to the palace. That's where all the other finely crafted rocks are, like you. There's a lift in Lithic that can take us there, away from the broken sky. Let me come with you and I promise to be helpful, you'll see. I will stay to scavenge here a bit longer. See you later, hee. I can't get this item. Dang. I wonder if I'll get an ability that allows me to get it later. Let's check out the sky. That's where I ultimately need to get. Something about that just made a bunch of rocks fall from the sky. So we're in the unformed desert. This is just telling me about corpses. So we can start leveling up some strength here. Should help out the Bellow Mace. This sign says, "Stoneborn of the broken sky, you will be welcomed in Lithic." This gentleman says, this gentleman is the listener. It stopped. It never stopped before. Never. Oh no, where did it go? I was drawn to the echoing cries above so long ago. I lost myself in the tune of its sorrow willingly, eager to drown in another's woe rather than... No, they're back. The head noises. The ones only I can hear. Weeper, where did you go? I don't know if that's part of an NPC quest that I don't get, because I think you meet a character who's the Weeper later. I don't remember if he talks about the listener. Oh yeah, I have bestiary entries to read for you. So the Frantic is an amalgam of beings formed into one another and out of a chunk of rock. The dampness of the cavity was detrimental to the process of all formations. In their haste to rush forward, they can be easily tripped during a sharp turn. The spike heads, the ones that throw the little projectiles, after the spikes have grown too far inward, they are pulled from the stump only for their breath to grow it once more. Cowardly and frail, they attack from a distance using a torn spike. It should be returned to them. And the wretch, better formed than their closest siblings, the crawlers, yet with little breath left for their minds, aggressive and quick, but predictable in their rage. And then there are different parts of the bestiary. And so the amalgam, the sky broke and breath dispersed throughout, its gift forced upon the world, permeating it with thoughts. Down below, the cavity was submerged in a liquid, disrupting the planting of breath in its substances. Developing forms carried away from their growing minds by the running flow, their barely formed shapes inhabited by the minds of many, united in the misery of the old pain. So my understanding of the old pain is that it is just a way of referring to this agony of having life forced upon things that shouldn't have life. Like rocks, you know. Like, it seems like it sucks. A lot of them are malformed, and existing is a painful nightmare, and they can't die because they're rocks and stuff like that. Like, it's a bad scene. That was a claw hound. These guys throw little spikes at you too. Oh yeah, I have some regular items to read as well. So the blood metal splinter, unlike levelam, which is what the surrogate is made of, blood metal can be worked into objects, strengthening them. The motley pearl, an expression of mingling of the parent and the other. It tugs gently on the essence of things. The unformed finger comes with, this body of mine feels wrong. It is dry, crumbling. Every movement is raspy. Every movement a raspy chafe. The unformed hand says, every word spoken travels painfully through the barren crevice of my throat. The ardent sand says, the awareness to want, but the inability to take. This pile of sand desires form and breath. So it looks like a hand. But it can't, you know, grab anything, but it wants to. This one is your homeward bone, levelam dust. Yearning to be the whole, levelam is drawn to where most have coalesced. The volatile eye, which is like a firebomb. Eyes are volatile, the mark of both unformed heresy and the child. No one shall confer with a creature possessing eyes. Its endless want will bring doom upon you as well as itself. And then we get picked up the fossil fist, which is still rock formed in the shape of clenched fists. So you can see a surrogate up there. We gotta get to it first. I'm gonna absorb these claw hounds because they have a pretty good trait. There's an enemy down here. I want to get this map first. Okay. Now let's check out over here. Oh yeah, here's a guy. Throws his eyeballs at you. We'll absorb him pretty good. Oh, fuck, that hurt. Oh, nice. Okay, well, he just died there. I don't know if I get access to his ability since I didn't absorb him. I'll have to see. Because that's a pretty good one. That one increases the damage of reflecting projectiles back at enemies. Perfect. Exactly what I needed. I saw you lurking back there. Yay! Completed the prey hunt on the wretch. I think that surrogate's over here. Yep. So let's see what we got. So I didn't get the prey hunt on that guy because I didn't absorb him. So I gotta be more careful about that because that sucks. I think there's only so many of those guys in the game, and I like that ability. It's useful. So the Wretch's ability is it increases the damage done by a percentage based on how much our ardor is. So the threshold increases, like you get plus 15% damage at 60 and above. And then the Clawhound, dashing leaves behind an echo for a short time. You restore 15% of total stamina if the echo is damaged. This is super useful. Pretty much anything that gives you a stamina recovery, instant stamina recovery, is super useful. So I think I'm gonna get that. For now, we'll put that point into strength. Let's talk to this fella. This is Hyad. That last quake was different, and that Watcher hardly watches for anything anymore. Shidra will not be pleased. Oh, why? Hello there. Oh! World's breath, what was that? Did you see that? We nearly got crushed. Oh my, I hate this side. How could anyone get used to the sky constantly falling down? It's fine. I'm fine now. How can I help you? A Carven, I presume? Here to collect and trade as well, no doubt. Well, I suppose I could offer you the same terms of trade your kind would get in the World Pillar. Here, have a look. Let's listen. I must say, it is quite surprising to find a Carven under the broken sky ever since the mothers came here. I would love to know how you got here. Not through the lift, that's for sure. Hopefully not through the Feaster's lair. By Shidra, I'd rather not know in that case. Okay, let's trade. He has a claw weapon. Looks like a crab claw. And it says it was either found or ripped from the limb of a large feaster. It's like a quality weapon. And then the Maul Sword, which is more of a dex weapon. What seems to be the second attempt of an artisan at perfecting their art. Neither of which are useful to us. Another upgrade material. Something up here that we can't get to yet. Nope. It'll teach me for looking at the background too much. It's so interesting. There's so much cool shit back there, though. So you get the sense of this event where suddenly breath broke the sky. And as a consequence of that, things started coming to life that should not have. They say very particularly that life was forced onto beings in this world. unformed slab. That's a great sword. It's okay. But I want to get used to using a really slow weapon like this so it's not total shock when I make the switch. Alright, that was a rock head as opposed to a boulder head. Keep absorbing them bad boys. I think their ability might be like plus 10% max health per rank or something. Oh, there is stuff down here though. Exploring is its own reward in this game. This rockhead says, "Welcome, welcome, new stone friend. Have you come to join?" You don't look very stone-like. Head smaller than torso. High hands as long as low hands. Ellipsis. Carving our back. Tell moms. This is lithic. This is a party kind of town. Now there's the eye brute. Yeah, deal 25% more damage with reflected projectiles. So what we want to do, we want to point in this for sure. Because it sucks doing no damage on a reflect. And a point in this is good too. Keep pumping strength. Oh, Jan. Jan says, "Listen up, you uglies. Your worship is required. A beautiful one has arisen from the ugliest of all the broken sky places. This is a sign that me, and even, possibly, one such as you, may find some small beauty somewhere in that thing you call you." Oh, there they are. Quickly, humble yourselves before the naturally proportional one. Ellipsis. I said humble! Oh, look! They left you a gift. This follower thing is already really paying off, hehe. Let's see, more item descriptions? The living rock. A thought shatters the stillness. Unwanted breath aches in my newly formed chest. Oh yeah, and then that unformed slab is a slab from the elusive blade forest, worked and cared for over many quakes. These guys have shields as well as spears. The first absorb you do on them destroys their shield, and then the second one will kill them. finish the prey hunt on those guys. What's up here? Oh yes, I definitely want to go up here. Some levium dust. And the pillar slab, which is going to be our weapon. This is a very slow weapon. Still rock infused with the will to grow by the mother's whispered breaths. I need 14 strength before I can even equip this thing. So what we're going to do is we are going to go back to the surrogate. We'll pop all of my consumable soul items. Let's level up as much as we can. That was not much. We got a ways to go. Quite a ways to go. We can look at any new bestiary entries. We can equip the great sword until we can get the pillar slab going. Sentry. Wrong, like breath from a cadaver, like a useless, silent limb. Barely formed, a torso bound to the ground as its eternal watcher. What is thrown can often be returned to its sender, with force. The volatile unformed. An unformed and unstable body carried by weak, spindly legs barely holding it all together. Their volatile bodies may be dislodged to become the problem of another. Let's see, Clawhound. Bestial in form, as is the tendency in all mixed kin, touched by the other's breath. Can both rush and evade quickly, but with the right timing, both are meaningless. The Eye Brutes. Hunger paired with the inability to consume, their volatile breath divides to form eyes. This will inevitably leave them drained, no more than a husk, at the mercy of any and all forms of absorb. And the Rockhead. Formed deep within the great rocks and mountains, they've been trapped ever since the sky broke. Then the mothers came, whispering breath into the rocks and freeing the Rockheads. They formed Lithic. The various Rockheads take turns between defending Lithic, practicing comforting art, and freeing the siblings still stuck in the ground and the walls. Alright, so let's call it there for this second episode it ended up being. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.